It seems like LEGO's already made every single iconic ship that you can possibly think of. Got tons of Falcons, tons of X-Wings, all sorts of TIE fighters. They've done it all, but not really. There are some pretty major, pretty iconic ships, I think, that LEGO still has yet to make in any form at all. And I'm sorry to say, there is a pretty explicit theme with all of them. And so, without further ado, here are the top 5 LEGO Star Wars sets that LEGO has to make at some point because they're just too dang iconic for them to not do. Starting at number 1, we have the Jedi Temple. This place in the Star Wars universe was featured so prominently in both the prequels and the Clone Wars TV show. I'd say it's more of a consequential place for the Star Wars universe than Tatooine is. But LEGO has never made a Jedi Temple. This set could be such a great opportunity for them. They could put just dozens of minifigures in it, although they wouldn't, but we can all dream. But there is just so much potential for a Jedi Temple playset that LEGO has to capitalize off at some point because it is just too much of an opportunity to let slide like that. Now, the next most iconic ship, probably unsurprisingly, is also from the Clone Wars. This is the Munificent class frigate, and this is pretty much the main ship that the Separatists used during the Clone Wars. This is also very iconic to the prequel trilogy, especially the Clone Wars TV show. If anybody has ever watched the Clone Wars TV show, they know this ship because it is just that abundant in there. And I'm flabbergasted that LEGO never made a playset of this during the 2008-2009 Clone Wars era when Clone Wars was at its height. This is just such a spectacular ship. It looks cool. It would be a great opportunity. I don't think that LEGO has to do this as a UCS set even. They could just do it as a good old-fashioned playset and put some pretty good minifigures in there. I could see this as another place to get Count Dooku, maybe another Asajj Ventress, or General Grievous, of course, and battle droids, super battle droids galore. This would be such a fantastic set for LEGO to make, and I don't understand why they haven't done it yet. Now, up next on this list, I had to put a Separatist colored MTT. Yeah, I know LEGO has made MTTs in the past, but those were always Trade Federation. The MTT is really, really iconic to the Separatists too. I know it's never in a movie as Separatist colors, but this is still just such an iconic vehicle from the Clone Wars, and with LEGO paying more attention to prequel sets now, I think that we're due for a blue color-schemed MTT soon, because this is just such a fantastic vehicle. It's super cool, it looks really good, and especially in those blue-gray aesthetics, we need a Clone Wars MTT, and again, I don't get how this hasn't been made yet. It's such an iconic ship. Now, the next incredibly iconic ship that I just don't understand how it hasn't been a set yet is, of course, the Invisible Hand. This is one of the most significant ships in Revenge of the Sith. It is really a really beautiful ship too, and it's just flabbergasting to me that this is not a set in any form at all. And I know there's a lot of fan demand for it because there are tons of mocks. I know I've heard lots of people talking about it, and this just really needs to be a set at some point or another. And especially with such a loss of Count Dooku, and by that I mean he's been missing in action since 2013. We have not seen a Count Dooku figure since 2013. I think that a UCS Invisible Hand would be the perfect place to reintroduce him, because I do think that the Invisible Hand is UCS tier iconic. Now, one quick honorable mention before I get to the final. I just had to at least mention the Separatist landing craft or Trade Federation landing craft, because at this point it really doesn't matter which color scheme we get it in, so long as we get it at some point. This came out in 1999 in the movie. That was the first time we saw it. That was also the first year of LEGO Star Wars, and it's been quite iconic to the Clone Wars ever since. And I don't know why this hasn't been made yet. I think that this could be a great $160 playset. One of these summers, it could come with just a lot of droids, like how they did the Yavin 4 Rebel base with tons of minifigures. They could just load this up on the battle droids and the super battle droids, and I don't think that anybody would complain, except for some people that do not like to build their Separatist army. And then, of course, the most iconic thing that we've never seen out of LEGO Star Wars, except for a one-off advent calendar build, is the droid control ship, or the Lucrehulk class battleship. This is so iconic to the prequel trilogy and the Clone Wars as a whole. It's the main bad guy ship of the Phantom Menace, where Anakin destroys it just like Luke destroyed the Death Star in A New Hope. It's a pretty big nod to the Death Star. You know, you got that big round ball in the center. This is iconic. And all throughout the Clone Wars, well, the first half of the Clone Wars, when you're still using the ship, this is a marvelous ship. It is just really confusing to me and perplexing that this hasn't been made as a set either. I would have expected this one to have been made as a set by this point, but I guess it hasn't, obviously. Now, if you notice, the theme with all of these sets that I've mentioned on this list, except for the Jedi Temple, they're all Separatist sets. I just feel like the Separatists have really been getting the short end of the stick from LEGO over the past few years. And you don't have to look any further than just realizing there weren't any super battle droids from the years 2016 to 2023. They're finally coming out again next year in 2024. But Separatists have not been getting a lot of attention from the LEGO group, which I think is really unfortunate because the Separatists have so many cool vehicles, and it's a shame that they have not gotten as much love as they could be getting. So I really hope that some of these sets on this list end up coming to fruition sometime soon, because I'm dying for some of these. I don't know about you. Leave your comments down below if you really want to see some of these sets come to fruition too. Well, if you liked that video, then go ahead and leave a like and check out another one of these on the end screen now. And if you didn't like that video, then you're probably not here on the end screen. You probably left a while ago, so I guess I don't really have to address you guys at all, huh?